Greetings, sisters, and welcome. It's day 6. It is Saturday night. If you are able to watch this, right the fuck on. Special goddesses stay home on a Saturday night. Yay, Jessica. Nice to have you here, goddess. Oh my goodness, Eileen, Chrysalis, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So today's day 6, and if this is your first day watching live, great. It's perfect. Everything is always perfect and aligned. Hello, all the goddesses are entering the room. Welcome to this enchanted space. It's day 6, and we're going to go deeper tonight. It feels like a very powerful day. I've spent a lot of the day in meditation and had a really special, actually, Marissa, yes, Marissa, we had a really special Fuck Your Fears. There's a course going on right now, and Marissa is an enchanted being in the course, and it was such a, I don't even know how to describe it. I think you said it, Marissa. It was filled with unconditional love, and that has stayed with me for the rest of the day. So let's begin, and let's begin just by taking a couple of breaths. Maybe you're home all cozy and maybe you're home all cozy and warm and it feels really special. Yeah, maybe you're home and you don't feel special. Maybe you're feeling like you should be going out. So let me know what you're feeling right now. Let's use the sentence right now I feel and give me the first couple of words of what comes out. I'd love to know. And we'll do it in a meditation style. So you can keep taking a couple of breaths, and this is a tool you can use anywhere, anytime. And it's all about bringing yourself present. So it would sound something like, right now I feel sweet. Right now I feel calm. Right now I feel rested. Right now I feel distracted. Right now I feel present. And so we're using our stream of consciousness, and especially in the realm of love. Like, I can come in right now all amped up, but the truth is I feel really grounded. I feel really amped up in a different way. And so let's really go into our love fears. And if you have been watching this, or if this is you're watching on the replay, this is a great exercise to do, even on its own. But if you have the part of you that wants to, do all the things, yay, Jermaine, then you can go back and watch all the videos in this group. So let's start with some celebrations. I want to really give a big shout out to Claudine. She did our challenge yesterday, and the challenge was to post your desires. If you had a blank, if you had a fairy godmother, a sugar daddy, a magic wand, that these are the desires you would want. Did anybody else do it that I didn't see? I'm going to double check, because I really love when we take risks. And I love when you take risks, because when you take a risk, you never know how it's going to play out. And so to really give yourself the opportunity, I think just Claudine and me did it. Let's see, someone else. I don't know. Did anybody else? So you can still do it. It's not like, oh, well, it's over. But there is momentum when we're doing it together, and we are cheering each other on. And that, to me, is a true sisterhood, when you're not alone. So, Jermaine, how did your asking the truth, speaking the truth go, or receiving? And actually getting the truth from someone is receiving. How did it go? Okay, I got a thumbs up. Is that from you? Oh, there she is, Claudine. Great. I was just like really cheering you on, saying like you were fucking brave and you posted your desires. That's huge. It's huge to let people know that your desires are real and maybe somebody will meet them. Who knows? But what I do know to be true is, by the way, this is a Band-Aid. When you speak your desires out loud and people see them, they keep them in your mind. They hold them for you. And whether they can help you achieve them or they just like think about you with them, then it's more likely to come true. And one of my favorite things, Claudine, was that you had really beautiful things for the world too. Like you would donate money to Brooklyn Public, oh, not the Brooklyn, just the public library system. So great. And it's just like sharing a piece of your heart. That to me, that's what it's like. When you're sharing your desires, it's like sharing a piece of your heart with the world. So I brought our little ninja. Hello. And the funny thing about this ninja, I don't know if I told you the short little story. I was with a goddess in the summer. We hung out. We went to get ice cream. We did a little ritual together. And then I left him. And she was staying in an Airbnb in Manhattan. And then she went to Bali. She went to Thailand. She went all over the world. And she brought the ninja with her. So she recently mailed him back with a pair of earrings and a crystal. And here he is. So he's traveled. He's been a very traveled little ninja. Okay, so I brought 2 decks with me, and let's see which one you prefer. So I have the Power of Love deck. It's so fun to have decks. And the Power of Surrender. So somebody pick one, and the first person who answers, I will use that one. Which deck do you want? And Jermaine, I'm waiting for your celebrations. And even if you didn't do any, like celebrate that you made the choice, you know? Okay. Yay, Honora, welcome. Okay. So let's see. The Power of Love stayed in my hands. So I will pick from the Power of Love. So pretty. I like how cards smell. Yes, the ninja, exactly. Traveling the way. Yes. Oh my goodness, you're right, Claudine. That's funny. He's a traveling ninja, just like you. I can't type for some reason. Is it your phone? Or your fingers cold? Okay. Oh, Claudine said surrender. All right, I'll pull both. Let's be in abundance. Let's pull from both decks. So what I like about pulling from both decks, actually, it's pretty cool. So when we pull from the surrender deck, then I ask the love cards, how do we achieve that? So these smell very different. So let's mix these up. And in the meantime, I'd love any celebrations. And when, celebrations from this love. Oh, the phone. Okay, Jermaine, thank you. I was getting worried about your fingers for a minute. When you enter a container about a priority of love, things start to happen and shift no matter what. So does anybody have any celebrations just since you've started doing this? Sorry, there's like pillows here and stuff. Just since you've started doing this, are there any celebrations that have been happening or that are even a tiny bit worth mentioning in regards to your love life? Let's make it make sense. Let's make it so that it fits and it's because you've been focusing on it. All right. So I pull a card for the highest good of all, for all the enchantresses in this group, especially the ones that are live, but also the ones that stay in the background and watch from the sidelines. Surrender fear. There's a million cards in my hand, and I picked this one. Let go of the fearful stories you are telling yourself. Stay in the moment. Focus on solutions and celebrate every baby step forward. It's so interesting. So the man that I was like kind of bent out of shape on from New Year's, we went out 3 times and then he didn't write to me, and I felt complete, and I gave him the title of Driftwood. For some reason, he's coming up in my mind right now, and I just want to mention it. I don't need to take any actions, just sharing. Okay, so surrender fear. So which is perfect, because that's of course what we're talking about tonight, because let's talk about these stories. Let's talk about patterns. Let's talk about why are we attracting or blocking men in our lives, or loved ones, could be women too. Okay, so I asked this deck, what is it that we need to know in regards to surrendering our fears? Purpose. You possess the determination and dedication to consciously demonstrate love. Beautiful. I like that. I like purpose because, you're here on purpose, right? You're not just like, oh, cool, let's see what Jane's doing. Like Claudine, you've been here every time. Jermaine, you've been here most days. Honora, you are like on fire. You showed up to the last challenge. You showed up to this challenge. Like, you're here on purpose. And when we are focusing on something, the energy around it shifts no matter what. Okay, so I'm going to share this word that I learned today. And then that's how we'll start out here. So I was doing a meditation, and at one point the woman said, Maharishi. The Maharishi effect is a scientifically documented phenomenon in which large groups of people can quickly and effectively spark positive change by focusing on a common good. Maharishi effect. And so I've never heard this word before. Yay, Bonnie. That if we all have the intention to have more love in our lives, the partners will come, the loved ones will come, but focusing on ourselves and focusing on who we're calling in is so on purpose. It's not just like, oh, well, this guy came in my life, or this woman came in, and blah-de-da-de-da. It's more like, oh, I'm doing this work, so things are happening. So Honora shares, it feels like because I'm doing this work, it's loosening my grip on it. Yeah, we have all these stories, and we're going to talk about them right now. So the fears we have, I see on very big levels and tiny levels, the fear of rejection, the fear of like, I'm just not attracted to you, or you're not sexy enough, you're not beautiful enough, you're not interesting enough, you're not cool, this just isn't working, I don't like you. Like, these are very harsh things that maybe nobody would say, but it's the fears. Like, okay, I'll use myself as an example. So this guy, Adam, the architect, never called back, never checked in, nothing. And he had given me the agreement, we won't ghost each other and we won't fade out. We promise we'll be human. Now, we went on 3 dates. We had a beautiful connection. Like, why wouldn't I believe him? So for me, even though it's so tricky, because it's like, he gave me no rhyme, no reason, no resolution. So giving one to myself creates these fucked up stories that we have to let go of. But actually, to be honest, I know it's not about me. His last girlfriend had some serious mental issues, and it's the kind of thing where it can't be about me. I know it isn't, but the old fearful stories are really trying to fight their way into my consciousness. And based on the stories that he's told me about his past and how he is, like, There must have been something that went on. Now, maybe there'll be a day where I'll ask, but right now I feel complete calling him driftwood. It's just drifting along. But these old stories of, for me, my oldest story, and you start thinking about yours, is too much, too emotional, too heavy, too emotionally heavy, too, just too fucking much. Like, so much needs and so many shares and so many check-ins and all that stuff. Now, with the men that I'm not really into, I'm none of those things. They don't exist. But when I'm really into somebody, hey, Lori, there's fears of like, oh man, can't you just chill out? Like, that's what I think they're thinking. And meanwhile, at the same time, when there's a guy that I'm not that into and he writes me so much and I don't respond, I don't even think about it. But I'm probably hurting him the same way he's hurting me. You know, other people have hurt me. So let's open up Pandora's box and let's start with dreams. So whatever age you are, when you were little, you had an idea. Oh, yay, Jessica. Jessica Sue, I'm so glad you're here. Perfect timing. So when you were little, you had dreams. Now we discussed the other day that we had that we have Barbie collections, that some of us were really into Barbies. And so Barbie came with fucking dreams. She came with dreams of being with Ken and driving the Cadillac and going to the mall and going to the spa and being perfect and not having a pussy, just wearing like totally nothing. So, yeah, what, when you were little, were your dreams? What were your dreams about how were you going to have love in your life? You know, were you gonna get married and have kids and live in the suburbs? Like, what were your little girl dreams? And I'm going to put up our cards just in case you're joining right now. The first card we pulled is Surrender Fear. Let's see if you can see it better. And then the way we surrender fear is by being on purpose. So here you go. I'll post them, but if you want to take a snapshot. Okay. So let's air out. What were your dreams as a little girl? And they, you know, also like we have these fairy tales. We have these fairy tales. Oh, that feels better. Of Cinderella and getting our glass slipper, married kids, white picket fence, nice car. Yeah, same here. Same here. And the little girl in me was going to be rescued by a Prince Charming. I'm just taking a note. Okay, so I also was like, oh, to be a pediatrician, but to be taken care of. Great. So when I was little too, I thought like, oh, I'm going to get married and have kids. I didn't even think twice about it. And that's what we were trained to do in where I grew up. And so our dreams when we're little, they don't go away. Okay, Jessica says, dreams to be a princess and marry a prince. So it's interesting because as you share these, I'm like, I think of my own and I wonder, do you still want that? Like, is that something that you're still wanting? And it might feel vulnerable to share that. And I'll put the little ninja on our altar as well. So are the dreams old or have you updated them? Like, what's your little girl dreams and what are they now? Let's see. And the reason it's important to know is, there's this thing that I see so much, and I see it in myself, I see it with clients. If he sees me, therefore I am. So it's like there's a piece of self-worth that feels intact when there's a man. And again, I really want to preface, if you're non-binary or into women, that my heart and intention is loved one. Maybe I'll say loved one. Okay, Claudine says, I wanted to be a movie star and a singer, and my husband would be a rich man, and we'd have a big mansion. Oh my God, isn't this fun? Yeah, I had something similar. I was going to be working with Lucille Ball. Like, that was my thing. And I was going to have an amazing husband. It wasn't even, I didn't even think about him. I was just like, oh, I'm going to be wanted. I'm going to be married, and this is going to be my wedding. And there's sometimes that I'm like, I think I want that. Do I want to have, I definitely, it's tricky. I don't want to have children come out of my birth canal. Like, that is not a dream of mine. But I always thought that it should be. So I thought it was. And then I realized, like, that's not for me. I love children. I would love to help raise someone else's children by just playing with them and being loving. But it's really not for me. So how has your dreams, if they have, or if they haven't, you can declare that, but how have your dreams changed or not changed? Yeah, I like the notes that I took here. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Like, I didn't know if it was even a choice, and I felt a little bit of shame, and I still think I do when I'm around. Like, there's a high school friend. I remember we were in her backyard, and I was already, I might have been 32, so she might have been married for like 5 years at that point. And she said, well, you want to move to the suburbs, right? And I was like, wow, she has no clue that I don't want that. And I was like, not really. I don't. Like, I want to live near the city, or I want to stay in Brooklyn. I didn't know I was going to move to Rockaway. But when people are in that paradigm, they barely know there's another way. Okay, so Nora shares, I got so hard in my breakup with my ex-husband and medical problems around whatever kids I can have at that point. I don't know if my desires are blocked by my fear or if I really don't want kids. Totally understand that shit. I don't give a shit about the nice car anymore or being taken care of. Fuck that. Great. So I love that. It's interesting to know that it could be a fear, or you could want kids. You don't have to know. But there's something about, and I do believe that there's a higher self, right? So I do believe that when I feel like that, Honora, like I don't know, I just like turn it over and I'm like, you know what? For the highest good, let it be. Like, I say this, and then let's say I meet this amazing man who's Prince Charming, who's like, I love you so much, I want to make babies with you. I don't know. I could go over the moon and be like, yes, let's do that. I don't think so, though. The truth is, I really don't think so. And it's really not my biggest desire. Hey, Justine. But you never fucking know. And being in the feminine energy, it's like, there's women having babies at 50. I definitely do not want to be one of those women. And it's not in my pleasure. I already feel, it's just not in my pleasure to even think about pregnancy. So what you're sharing, Honora, is so powerful because it's like you're hurt from your breakup with your ex-husband. It's like to be able to clear that of your consciousness, that it's not your fault, and that situation was that situation, and that situation could only have happened with your ex. You can never create that situation again in the same exact way. Justine, perfect timing, because you speak about this a lot, that anything in the past, it cannot happen again. Now, there are patterns But if we make the promise to ourselves and to each other to not talk about the past and revere it as factual, then those patterns can come to a halt. So what other patterns do you see? And by the way, every time a pattern repeats itself in love, there's something that's different, right? The person is different. But it's our mindset, it's your thought process around it that creates the same shit again. Now, I don't say that to blame you. I say that to be more aware, like, oh, fuck. I have a certain vibration that's attracting this other certain vibration. What is that about me? And so to stay curious and not to judge yourself, like I see when I meet a man who is over 6'4", I fucking lose my mind. And they do this dodgy game. Now, can I say that every man who's taller than 6'4" is fucked up and they're going to do that? I mean, it doesn't make sense. It has for the last 4 guys of my life. What is that shit about? I don't know. But I can relate back to the sense of security that I feel when I'm with a very tall man. And the other thing about these specific men are that they're more feminine. They're more in their feminine energy with their emotions, their creativity, their art, versus like the bully, masculine, controlling type of personality. That's not what I go for. It brings out the competitive spirit in me. Okay, so yay, Michelle, welcome. Yeah, let's dive into that. Which part, Justine? I love it. It's always the same type of dude. Yeah, so it's, I forgot, Esther asked me a bunch of questions. She sent them to me. She's like, how long is your longest relationship? You know, what is this? What is that with men? And I'm like, that's great. I am in no position. I'm not perfect, but I have been using my full expression of myself with men. And that's why I'm not hung up or stuck on any of the last 4 men. Like when it comes up, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. But Justine gave me the beautiful word of driftwood. And so I haven't thought about it. And just now when I thought about it, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, why is it coming up? And the truth is, like, I might be in his mind right now. But it's not up to me to do any more reaching out. That is not my job. Like, if I feel the need to reach out, oh, I thought it would be funny if it was him. Then maybe I will, but it's not like what's going to give me the closure. So, Honora, when you're noticing like, oh, it's always a bully. So first of all, we do have this mother wound and father wound. My father is more of a bully. Like he's more masculine energy. So it would make sense that the men that I am attracted to are like loving and kind and soft because I'm like, I don't fucking want that. And then when I'm on the phone, like one of my first in my questionnaire when I send out to clients, I ask like, what's your relationship with your mother? What's your relationship with your father? And, these things matter. Like they're the people that we try to emulate when we're little, from 0 to 7 years old. All of their beliefs are practically, like on a very practical level, just like put on us. And yeah, and that's all we can do. Like Justine said, just keep noticing. Just keep noticing. And the other cool thing is when you notice and it's a thought in your mind, you can say it to the person. And, when it's a woman and a man dynamic, there is something very primal that's going on. And the primal part is, as women, we're like, are you going to bear my children? So the parts of you that are fucked up, I don't want my children to have that. Now, this doesn't mean you're going to have children, but it's like the primal, your uterus, your eggs are like, is this a partner? Is this a partner? Like that's the inner uterus dialogue. And of course, depending on what time of month it is, it's really strong. So when something fucked up shows up in a man, you're like, ew, I don't want to fucking reproduce with that. And I believe that that's what creates the nitpicky shit, or like the judgment stuff. Yeah, our relationship to our parents have a lot to do with it. And without even diving into that, just like how we see the definition of love, right? Like storybooks, movies, they say mommy loves daddy, daddy loves mommy. And then when you go home, maybe it doesn't look like that. Maybe it doesn't look like the movies or the princess stories. So then your little child mind starts to understand and make sense. And that is your ego. That's the mind that's like, you can't have love. You are fucked up, just like your mother, just like your father. We as little kids act out what our parents do. When I was a preschool teacher, I would see all these little kids doing all this fucked up shit in the kitchen area. Like one little boy, at one point I had, I worked in different preschools. So there were different locations, different neighborhoods. Uh-oh, where's the charger? And so when I was in different neighborhoods, I would see different behaviors being played out. And certain kids would be always like smacking the baby dolls and punishing the children. And then other populations would be slamming doors and throwing pots and pans. And they're 3 and 4 years old. So that never goes away from us. We always carry the inner child with us. So let's do a little ritual, like a ceremony of sorts. I know we're here. What would you like to let go of? What would you like to release? How are we doing on time? 10:05. Okay, good. What would you like to release? What would you like to be done with from your story? Like, what story are you done with? Or what do you feel like it's not fair? Today, in one of my meditations came up was like, it's not fair. Everybody always has this and you don't. It was an abundance meditation. And sharing these things right now, like, do it with purpose. And Justine, you'll get a kick out of this, but look at the card I pulled, surrender fear. And the card tells us, let go of fearful stories. So some of my fearful stories are that people will judge me and say, like, she's such a wonderful woman, but something must be fucked up because she's never in a relationship. So judgment, right? And judgment, of course, from other people is really me judging myself, which attaches to that piece, which is, if I have a man in my life, my quality of life, my self-worth is raised in a different way. And without it, there's a piece missing. So that's a fear that I will continue to judge myself and make myself not enough. But when I'm in my highest consciousness, I'm like, I live such a fun life. I play with energy with men all the time. I have a lot of loving men in my life. And when I have a boyfriend and there's like one-on-one relating, I'm my worst self. It doesn't feel good. I never feel in abundance. I always feel like limited, scared, afraid, fucked up. And so why would I enter into that? It doesn't work for me. But the conformed part of me is like, just be like everybody else. Don't be such a weirdo. But I love weird. I love strange. I love having men talk to my womb and talk to my pussy and, declare things as they walk into my room. I had a lover over the summer, and before he walked into my bedroom, I asked him to make a gratitude speech for being there with me. And he did a beautiful job. It was amazing. And I got to be so entertained. Now, I don't know if that would actually happen in a relationship where it was one-on-one and I was all fucked up about it. So for me, it's like the freedom. Yeah. Okay, Justine declares, I declare I am done with anything that's not feeling aligned. You know what? Thank you. That made me just forget about Driftwood. It's not aligned. Why do I give a shit what happened to him? He doesn't give a shit what happened to me. It's over. So, see, once I stepped into my higher consciousness, Once I talked about freedom and being weird, who gives a shit about that guy? But if that guy comes into my head and I'm feeling kind of lonely, kind of like in a fear, then I can go down the road of like, maybe I should text him. Maybe I should be concerned. He's a brother of God, whatever. No, that is clearly not the right thing. Okay, so Claudine releases the feeling of worrying. Does this person like me? Do they think I'm stupid? Am I not good looking enough? Am I too weird? Amen, Claudine. That paragraph that you just wrote is so relatable. So relatable. We are so hard on ourselves, and I've witnessed all of our beauty. And we've had a number done on us, right? We have been oppressed on certain levels. I say we as women, and it's glorified all over the place on television. You know, you're too old, you're too fat, you are pretty stupid, like all that. And it's so, yeah, the gratitude speech. It's like, I know that I get the sense like I want someone just as weird as me. And I believe that everyone is weird. It's just at what degree are they willing to let it out? And so the fetish club is some place where I am learning that freedom. I'm healing myself at the fetish club because it's about practicing. I mean, I could say I'm practicing with men, but if a man is over 6'4" and I'm practicing with him, I'm not going full to the top with my weirdness. I'm going like on the line or above. But full weird, it feels like, oh, I don't know if I could do it. And of course I can, but there's some mechanism in me that's like, nope, nope. And so baby steps with men that I really like, and giant steps with men that like I don't think I like. But you know what happens when I'm with the men I don't think I like? I end up falling more deeply in love with myself. Hey, Maria. And then therefore I love them. And so what I encourage all of you to do, and you know, whether you do the Fuck Your Fears course in February or not, it's like what I encourage you to do is to keep practicing on dorks. Keep practicing on people that you aren't necessarily attracted to right away, so that when the man that you are interested in, or the lover that you are interested in, woman, whoever, that your muscle will already be built so that you don't have to try it new for the first time. Yes. Oh, Justine, I would love to be witness in that. Yeah, that's a great challenge for me because as soon as they're that tall, I'm like, this is what I've been waiting for. This is the prince of my dream. It's really funny. I mean, I've done a good job. Like, I'm not that like that anymore, but I have a hard time. And so when I hear clients who have a hard time with a specific type of man, I really encourage more of their weird to come out. And, you know, when we're weird, our authentic self is so fun because it's actually play, right? So when we're playing, it's magnetizing. Joy is one of the highest vibrations. You know, I mean, you could get like joy, love, enlightenment. So if you're in joy, love, and enlightenment, boom, magnets, everything comes to you. Money, love, friendship, work, business, every time. And so full weird, like that's my word, or weird or awkward, you know, that kind of stuff, when you're in that, it erases the lines of if he sees me, therefore I am. Like, I wonder if he thinks I'm cool. I wonder if he thinks I'm stupid. It's very real for the ego. But for our playful selves, it's like we have the tools, you have the tools to say, you know what, I think I feel stupid, but I'm going to say this anyway. So it lets your ego know, like, okay, well, if he thinks you're stupid, at least I think I'm stupid too. And then it goes away. And then you get to say the thing. So you're like tricking your ego into speaking up. into your full awkward, your full weird. And, you know, awkward and weird, those things, if not done, hey, Anita, can be extremely painful, right? It's fun to talk about being awkward, but it's actually really painful to feel awkward with someone that you're attracted to. You know, and there's suffering there. Like I have that suffering with certain men, and it's really fucked. I don't like it. I think I know how to solve it, but that how I know how to solve it would take so much courage for me. And in the back of my mind, I think, oh, if I'm so courageous, maybe they'll end up liking me. You know, that kind of stuff. Yay, Karen, welcome. Okay, so Honora is ready to release the fear of not being good enough. Yeah, like you're fucking brilliantly amazing. And I could tell you that till the cows come home. But unless your body gets to experience your amazingness in connection, in some connection, the other voices will be like, nope, you are still not enough, my friend. Those voices are loud, and not only loud, they're just like imprinted in our blueprint. So the work that this is constant, it's consistent, it's proof, it's taking actions. You know, for everyone who's done a lot of the challenges, like you're doing the thing, right? So posting what works about you and putting it out in the world, sharing your desires, like those seem fun and frivolous, but they're actually really vulnerable. And I think you get that, especially if you didn't do it. You know that it's like a real vulnerability to know what works about you. Last night, some army dude wrote to me on Instagram and he's like, I think we should get to know each other, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, this is not the way you serve the goddess. You wait for me to ask questions. I felt pretty funny and badass. And he wrote back, you're right, you win. Like, yeah, motherfucker, I win. And so when I'm in that place, and it's funny and creative and whatever, then I'm a shiny ass diamond that is connected to the divine, actually the divine. And I don't even have to think about what I'm going to say. It just comes from my body. It comes from the divine. It comes from my pussy. It just comes. But when I'm in my lower consciousness, when I'm feeling weak or shy or afraid, those things are beautiful if admitted. Then you go straight to the head of the class. But if you stay in fear and you stay in low consciousness and you try to manage it or resist it, everything that comes out of your mouth, you're going to have self-doubt. You're going to not believe yourself. You're going to be like, you see, you fucked it up. But if it's that trust muscle you're working with yourself, then your words are coming from an embodied place and not from a place of, I'm going to fuck this up. You know, if you're nervous about saying something, to say, I'm nervous, then your body can relax and be like, okay, cool, she's real. But if you're like trying to puff up your chest and be someone and be somewhere or someone that you're not, it just won't happen. That's when the stuttering happens. That's when the like second guessing yourself, the not enoughness happens. And you can work on this alone, but there's nothing like working on it in a sisterhood. So is there any other, I'm trying to see if I missed anything. Let's see, I got everybody's releases. I love everything. I want to take everybody's. So I want to come back. What's the word again that I shared? It's such a cool word. Let me know if you've heard of it before. The Maharishi effect. Scientifically documented phenomenon in which large groups of people can quickly and effectively spark positive change by focusing on a common good. That's what we're doing here. All right, Esther, welcome. So the Maharishi effect means let's all call in more love for ourselves, more abundance of love, whether it's long-term relationships, moments, fleeting moments with people. Like a game that we play in the course is, let's pretend everybody has a crush on me. And then walk around like that. Everybody has a crush on me. One of my dear sister friends, Marcy, came up with this game in a way, and I've been really playing it. Like, Let's pretend I can have any lover that I want. Let's pretend I can have any relationship I want. How fun is that to walk with that in your mind? You know, it takes energy to like change the reel, change the tape. Everybody has a crush on me. Everybody has a crush on me. Men, children, women, dogs. Everyone has a crush on me. It's so fun to walk around like that. And our inner child, our little girls in us, we want people to have crushes on us. I've been watching this really bonkers show called Dear Dick. Has anybody seen it? And then I have some goodies I want to share with you all. Let's see, am I forgetting anything? Okay. Anybody see Dear Dick? It's on Amazon Prime. Oh, we have a woman lost. Okay. She can watch the replay. Okay. So, Dear Dick is about a woman who gets obsessed. Yes. Oh my goodness, you have to watch it. It's crazy. It's a woman, she gets obsessed over this professor, teacher, and it's Kevin Bacon, and he looks so fucking sexy. And she's married. Yes. Oh, you saw it. And it just makes the weirdo in me, the obsessive, compulsive, crazy goddess, be like, oh, look, I'm not alone. So I'm glad you've seen it, Claudine. It's one of those things that's just like, when we are feeling at our worst, we convince ourselves no one else is this fucked up. Do you agree with that? Put up a yes. No one else is this fucked up. I am totally the craziest woman on the earth. Nobody would do what I'm doing. Nobody would obsess the way I'm obsessing. I am over the edge. I'm probably manic. I should be medicated in a hospital. Like, that's the kind of talk that I know a lot of women have in their heads. Is it a true story? Oh, you went to the bathroom with Kevin Bacon once. Was it in the West Village? They used to live downtown. Okay, great. Yes, thank you, Honora. We think that, like, I am so fucked up. And then we prove the case by clinging to that story and being like, I am so fucked up, nobody would deal with me. Hold on, Cooper has to be let out. Come here, Cooper. Go make these meals. So every time that we feel crazy, if we don't share it with a sister, then we have a secret. And then we take that secret and bring it to the next relationship. And we work so hard to hide that secret, like, don't let your crazy out. This man will run away. So what happens? It starts to seep out like a fucked up little piece of slime. And then you're like, oh my God, my crazy is out. I don't know. Let me try to hide it. Let me give a better blowjob. Let me be a little cooler. Let me do something interesting. I know. Let me act busy. So that kind of shit doesn't work. So at the moment of crazy inception, it's time to reveal that to the man or to your sisters so that you don't isolate in your thoughts. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Well, I'm not sure if Anita is still here, but I have really big surprises for everybody because I am feeling so much. First of all, I love being generous and I love everybody's everything here. I love how everyone's showing up and doing all the challenges. Like, it feels really good. So act busy. Yeah. Like, oh, I'm so busy. All these things. And because when I work with women, they really share their truth with me. It's like, oh, of course you're trying to be busy. You don't want to let your crazy out. Like that little monster that's like, rah. No, I'm a painter. I'm doing new things. It works, but it's so friggin' temporary. Okay. So I want to add on some fun, awesome bonuses. And Anita, I don't know if you're still here. Yes, thank you, Karen. But I am so excited about the women signing up for this Fuck Your Fears course, because here's the thing. You can think of it as something frivolous and extra, but if you're focusing on love in your life, abundance comes in many different ways. Yay, what's up, Kat? And so I want to share a little bit about the program, and I want to answer some questions, and I want to let you goddesses know that whatever you're willing to work on with yourself, whatever you're willing to like open up, share, so you can tell if your fear is real or it's bullshit, if your seductive goddess doesn't come out at the right moments because it's a fear or because you don't even know her. So it's like having this wisdom to speak like you've all been doing, like to share the shit that's going on in your head. It does, truth dissipates fear. Truth dissipates fear. So when you keep it to yourself, it sort of rots like a nasty egg left in the car in a plastic container in the summer. But I'm inviting you all into the February program so that your life, your love, your money, your sex life, your alone solo life, your creative life can grow exponentially. And right now, what's happening in the course that's happening now ends in the beginning of February. And the women are experiencing unconditional love. And their finances are changing. Their relationship to their children are changing. Their relationship to how they flirt and how they walk on the earth are changing. And there's one goddess that she doesn't like men. She loves men, but she's not liking them. And she's beginning to get receptive flirting happening with her. Now, there's something about that can be so like minuscule, or it can be like, yeah, who cares? But it's, thank you, Kat, for all the love. But it's something about your worth that gets raised when you invest in love. So I want to share with you some of the bonuses that I've added on to this program that starts in the end of February. Are you ready? If you're ready to hear the bonuses, I want this to be an easy fucking yes for you. So let me know yes if you even want to hear it, because I could be excited and share, but if you don't want to hear it, like, I won't share. But yeah, so let me know if you're a yes. Tomorrow night you get meditation, and then Monday night we complete the thing. Okay, Karen, good. I'll take that as a beautiful yes. But I don't want to be desperate for a yes. So if you want to hear it, throw up some hearts. Okay, cool. Okay, so we start the end of February. So this is about changing your relationship to love. Self-love, love outwards. Great, thank you. So I reached out to some of my favorite people, and I was like, yo, do you want to be a part of this course? So I'm adding in sessions with some fucking amazing people as part of the course. And one of them is a money session with my money coach, Galit Sadiq. She's the financial sharktress. And I want to hear anything you have to share. Okay, Honora said, I've been trying to fill out the form and I've been getting stuck, but that's okay. It's coming. Okay, complimenting myself is hard. Change that story. I'm going to give you a new one, Honora. I compliment myself slowly and on my own time. Not hard, just slowly. Okay, so money session with Galit. That is $200. So she's going to work with you as part of it. Number 2, my secret weapon, Mark Shumster. He's like this underground fucking guy. And he has a method, and it's about frustration be gone. So he works with relational charts, so that he figures out if you're annoyed with someone, and it could be a man or anyone, he will work with you to figure out your way of being and this other person's way of being, so you could have more ease with them and not feel like so fucking annoyed. So he basically gives you brain space. So those two things are $200 each, but they're included as bonuses. Fucking great. Mark will meet you on video, and Galit is going to do your money session with you. She's fucking phenomenal. She's changed my whole shit, and she's not a woo-woo coach. She has a financial education degree, so she's doing like fucking spreadsheets and shit. She's not like, I mean, she loves abundance talk, but she's not like, let's pray and ask God for money. The third thing is the bonus session with me before the program even starts. So we start at the end of February, but you get another bonus session with me now, like in January, so that you don't have to wait to begin. And I'm keeping the $500 off. So you're getting all these things. So let's add it up. Oh, I forgot the most exciting thing. Anita, I'm not sure if you're here or not, but if you say yes tonight, there is it's $97 plus shipping, and you get to be part of a womb cleanse. Whoa. And you get yoni steam herbs by an amazing woman named Sokna. She's a womb healer. And Anita Teresa is the founder and producer of the Sex and Medicine Summit. And they have this fucking priestess woman, I don't know her very well, a nutritionist. So that womb cleanse is $97 plus shipping, $200 session with Galit, $200 session with Mark, $500 off. And if you add all that shit up, let's see, I thought I added it. It is over $1,000 in savings. Holy fucking shit. Like, I want you to have all this stuff. And tonight, the womb cleanse you get. And if you choose to do this before Monday, you get the session with Mark, the session with Galit, the money goddess, and you get the $500 off, and you get the $300 with me. So let me add that up right. So 500, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1,200. And if you do it tonight, you get $1,300 in savings, and it's a live womb cleanse. So I just want you to have this. And it's the truth. But I only want you to have this if you want this. I am not going to be here to pull you out of the mud. You have to be able to let me take your hand and walk with me towards love, towards money, towards abundance. Because doing it alone is where you get stuck. It's where I get stuck. That's why I fucking pay people. That's why I have debt. Debt is a tool. You know, no one's giving you a fucking high five. Ah, beautiful cat. Okay. So let's say by Tuesday morning. Yeah, I know. Cat's in Australia. So you get the womb cleanse if you, let's say the weekend, because there is some global time zones here. So you get the womb cleanse, which starts 21st if you sign up by the weekend is over. And then Monday, Tuesday, if you sign up, you get all these goodies, the $1,200 in bonuses. Like, fucking super excited that you get the money coach, that you get my secret weapon, Mark. He doesn't even have his stuff on a website. He's just one of those wizard motherfuckers who are just like, what would you do in this situation, in this situation? One of the questions he asks is, when you walk into a restaurant, do you want to know what's on the menu, or do you take in the whole scene? So he asks these questions, and then he figures out what type you are and who would annoy you, so that you can love those people, because it makes sense that they would annoy you. So it's a frustration session that you get unfrustrated with the person that's fucked up, basically. Yeah, you're welcome, Honora. And of course, if you haven't heard, I have a scholarship for anyone that wants to do this course. You get all the bonuses anyway, and you pay half if you sign up for the Annie Mertz Scholarship. She is a goddess that let me use her credit card to do one of my really expensive programs that I attended. And then she recently passed away, pretty young, 59. And so there's a scholarship for her, for any goddess that really wants to do this, but just cannot make the fucking money work. So fill that out, and it's on the bloop, bloop link I just put up. So yeah, that's it. That's it in a nutshell. Are there any questions? Oh, thank you, dear goddess. Are there any questions on logistics of the course, or anything? Yeah, Annie. Right now, I feel a little detached to it, but I still grieve every so often. I mean, you know, to have a goddess pass away before her desires were met on this earth, I came up with the resolution that when she got into goddess place, wherever it is, that all of her desires were there, and her husband, who had also passed away, and her dog met her there with open arms. Like, that makes me feel really excited. And also that I get to honor her in this way. The money that gets saved from the scholarship goes to a school in Bali, because she used to bring clothing back and forth and sell. Eagle Ride Traders, or something like that was the name of her company. So are there any questions about the course? Yeah, thank you, Kat. Any questions logistically? It's an 11-week showdown. We meet once a week on Zoom. It's not like this. It's like, hey, let's get in each other's faces. There's sister buddies. We do sex magic, not together, but you learn sex magic tools. Let's see. Yeah, we work with the root chakra, the mother wounds, play, compliments, all the goodies that we already do, just more. Yes. Yeah, Annie was a trip. She was a real spitfire. She'd be like, I don't give a fuck. Like, she was great. Okay, cool. Well, let us close out by continuing to surrender our fear. Tomorrow night, you will get a video. You will get an audio. And I would love to know yes! Ooh, Kat, we're like sisters from another planet. It's really great. So you're going to get an audio, and then the challenge is to listen to the audio and share. Yeah, it's on Zoom. Me too, because actually, you know, a lot of the work that I do in workshops with people, we do on Zoom, and it translates so powerfully. It's really interesting. I wasn't sure the first time, you know, we did a Zoom class, but the energy is definitely transferable, and everybody sets up their scene. They put up like candle, little lights. We do rituals so that we come together with intention. And Maharishi, I don't know if I'm saying it right. When we come together with intention and power, anything's possible. So the steps to sign up tonight are: you go onto the link and you put your deposit. And if you say, Shane, I want to do this, the deposit is $500. If you're like, I have $250 right now, let me give you the $250 in a week or two, you can do that. Not everybody can do that. But if you're here watching this fucking video, if you've stayed till the end, you get this, because I want you to have what you want. So let me know. Like, I'm a human being, you know. I mean, I know a lot of coaches don't operate that way, because it's like there's some sternness, and I am firm, but I'm not stern in that way. So let me know if you're interested, and we will continue that conversation to make it work for you. All right, everybody, blessings on your beautiful evening. I send you so much magic and ease on this Saturday night. And before I did this, sat with my feet in a foot bath. I did a meditation. I put the heat on the feet, and I put the vibration on and some salt. So take care of your feet, take care of yourselves. Thank you, Kat. I feel the same about you. Kat has amazing they play cards. You have something that is so fucking cool. I love all your hearts, Karen. And the other thing is, if you're in New York City, I am doing a class on the 26th of January with men. With men, goddesses. You pay $50. Come to that class. Everyone else pays $70. You are in the inner circle. So come to that class. We're going to do play with intimacy, play with inspired by joy and play. We're not getting naked. It's not that kind of play party. I know you might think so because I play at fetish parties, but we're going to play with energy. We're going to play with sub and dom dynamics. I think I want to check back. I feel like oh, Phoebe, you did write something. I don't know what you're talking about, but one guy I'm texting with is such a dom. Cool. Seems like you like that. Okay. So as we disconnect, I am going to share the email with you that has all the details and the goodies in it. And then I hope to see you Monday night. We have playtime. Yes. Link to the class in New York. You will get, I'll put that right now so that I don't have to look for it. And so far, there's a couple of men who showed up. And my intentions are clear. I would love to have 5 men, 5 women. Or more, but in that order. I also want to give you the discount code. Okay, discount code is connection. Bing. Oh my God, so hot. Claudine, if you come, because your Shakti's all in the burlesque dancing room, that would be amazing. Okay. Playtime. Whoop. So there's that. It's Enchanted Adventures in Intimacy. Dun, dun, dun. And the code is connection. Okay, awesome. All right, everybody, have a beautiful rest of your night. Blessings on your dreams. Keep your dreams alive. The challenge for tonight is to write another letter to your little girl, your inner child, the girl in you that's like, where's Prince Charming? Is he coming? Is he knocking at the door? How come he's not here yet? How come he's not coming back? Ugh, that's so sad. Write a letter to your inner child. Let her know she's loved, she's safe, and that anyone who let her down didn't do it to her on purpose. That is your challenge for tonight. And you don't have to post that, but write, dear little Claudine or dear little Shane. So write a letter to your little girl self and post a picture with it. So post a picture of your little girl self and write the letter. Don't share the letter. Post the little girl picture of yourself. All right, everybody. I'll send that in the email so it's clear. Anybody have any questions or anything?